Well, good evening, beloveds out there
Welcome.
in the land of the living. This is another exciting episode of Bring It to the Table. And where the motto is what happens at this table
Stays at the table. All right.
I think we got a good topic today, beloved.
We do. We got an amazing topic on today.
All right. And that is, should that be in the privacy in the marriage?
Should there be privacy in the marriage?
You can start that off if you like, beloved.
Well, this is a good topic. Should there be privacy in the marriage? And all I can do is just speak about my personal experience. I would say newly married, because we're coming up on our, I think, 4th year.
Oh wow!
In
Congratulations.
marriage.
It's very rare that a woman don't know the dates. So
It's either, I think it's
it's
our 4th.
refreshing. It's refreshing to see that you are stammering around how long you've been married,
Listen,
beloved.
I'm
Because
true.
most of the time that is our role, and it seemed like you have flipped it.
I'm true to who I am. I don't
You don't
remember
know,
names.
so,
I can't remember dates. And, obviously,
All
I
right,
know
that is-
when I
that
was
is-
married. So
that's
I
very
was
interesting.
married July 31st, 2021. So that's what, 22, 23.
You're not good at math. You counting on your
So I'll be
fingers.
4 years. So I was right. It's going to be 4 years of marriage. So getting back to the
All
topic,
right, beloved.
I can personally speak from my experience.
Absolutely.
And I actually felt that there should be a level of privacy in the marriage. And when I say privacy, I'm not saying like, hey, it has to be, it has to be private, meaning like, don't go in my things or this and that. I just think that it's healthy to have like a level of privacy between individuals. And I do feel like there isn't anything my husband can't ask me. But if you have a certain motive in your heart when you're doing things, and just say for an example, if you like go through a phone or go through like rambling and stuff, to me, that kind of feels like an invasion, because it's like, if you have like some issues, just why not come and speak to me about it? And it's not the fact that you're looking for something through things. It's the motive behind the action of what you're doing, and you're not even involving me. So it's like, I would think that we would have a level of respect in our relationship where you should be able to come to me if you feel a way about anything. And you don't have to feel the need to go and, look and dig and this and that, because I will be forthcoming and forthtelling, with whatever it is that you want to know.
Well, beloved, I believe and partially agree, but disagree respectfully. What I
don't
believe.
even know what you just said there, but okay.
Well, that's why you have to have a spirit of non-rebuttaling. You have to really hear, and
Right.
not just with your ears,
Okay.
but with your heart. Have a heart to receive the gems. So what I'll say is that there isn't a level. There is no privacy in marriage. When
Okay.
you take on the becoming one, you're not private with yourself. You are forthcoming with all your feelings and fears. You know them. I believe that it has to be a place where one can feel safe. If there's no safe place, then that's where the intimacy will not happen. You will not get closer, and you'll always have a level of wall of privacy up. I believe that a phone should be open. First Lady you can have my code. I don't care. You may have a moment of things appearing to be a certain way. And most of the time, a lot of discrepancies happen in that moment of beef, arguing, disagreements. One tend to feel a little bit more not connected. And when there's a disconnect, there is I want to say a separation And when the separation happened, that's where insecurities can creep in. So when there is not a defense, my mom always said something. She said, if it ain't true, why would you respond as though that it is? Defensive is almost an admission of something that you shouldn't have been doing. Beloved, listen, First Lady has full access. There's not one time or another where I would feel offended if she went through it. Why? Because you're just going to be going through a phone. But if there are conversations that I shouldn't have, or I haven't been forthtelling, then I would get out the shower. That's why you see some men get out with suds and shampoo on their face and everything else, because there is something that he don't want her to see, or vice versa, or she don't want him to see it. So a phone, if you're sharing body fluids, but you're not sharing passwords, you're sharing the most intimate juices, but you won't give out a passcode, because most of the time the Privacy Act, most people, that's a single person's mindset. That's mine. That's mine, but that's my snacks. I got my name on it. Guess what happens when you become one? Your snacks turn into our snacks. My snacks turn into our snacks.
Because I don't think all men do that. I think all men.
That's why I said that it is.
I'm sure there's a man cave somewhere that's stashed with the man snacks, and the family don't know about
listen,
it.
I believe that everybody have snacks that they stash away. Let's just not make it a man issue or a female issue. It's a people issue. And that's just what it is, beloved. I mean, it just depends on the boundaries. If a person, don't give a person a reason to feel, I'm not going to say that. No, you can't give a person a reason to snoop. Sometimes it could be a insecurity within that person.
But what if you don't even know that you gave them a reason because they not talking? They just snooping. That's the point I'm making. I don't have a problem with you having my code or you looking through things that you may need, but it's the motive behind the heart of the action of what you're doing is what I have a problem with.
But it's also
you come to me, if you have an issue,
right,
you let me know.
You seem as though this just happened to you, beloved.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just basically telling you. It's like I'm a high energy. You very low energy.
Don't Tia and Corey Hodrick me. What does
that mean?
Meaning that poor guy couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, all I'm saying is, beloved, you seem really agitated. Look at you making the noise. And that's another thing, beloved. You wouldn't do this with your white boss, And
or my husband.
Or why disrespect me?
I'm not
with the size.
you.
Listen, if you're on a job interview and you want this job,
you're
never going to. If I could get a word in.
Because you're giving me these analogies and stuff that's about to take us all the way across the street.
Your defense tells me a lot. You're so defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Who did it? Write down every name that makes you so defensive.
Oh,
beloved.
my God.
That right
defensive.
there is what children do.
Energy.
When you're talking, they go, oh, my God. You can't sit there in the fire and say, okay, and respond.
Sitting in the fire doesn't mean I got to agree with the burns.
Beloved, you go ahead. You talk for both of us.
I don't
How about
agree
that?
With the burns.
You talk for both of us.
I'm not talking for you.
You're trying to.
I'm not.
You won't let me rebuttal. You won't. You're jumping in.
Go
I don't
ahead.
need your permission.
Mm-hmm. All right now.
You have a disposition of a toddler. Grow up today. This episode, beloved. Relax. It's okay. This is your podcast, beloved.
Right. I'm wondering.
Right. So that don't mean you have to manhandle me on it.
How I
Jeez.
you?
Whoa.
Where did I manhandle you?
Beloved,
I just feel like you want me to be in this certain box.
I
where
don't,
you can't,
beloved.
You're not
this
allowing
is your
me
show,
to
beloved.
freely express and be who I am.
You definitely can, but
you
can I get my point out?
And it's like,
how am I trying to control you, beloved, when I'm making a point and you are?
Give you a bow.
Look, you are interrupting every point I make.
Okay, well maybe
I'm
we could
sitting
put you
here.
on.
It's a disciplined life.
It's probably because you on
Beloved,
speed
listen,
level is
I'm a
just
high
probably at a
value.
2. You need
Beloved,
to
I'm a high value, and
talk.
I don't tolerate that.
You slow
I don't
talking.
tolerate that. No, it's called thinking before you speak.
Okay.
It's not talking with passion, it's talking with sense.
Ooh.
It's talking not with emotion, but with
Uh-uh.
logic, beloved.
Uh-uh.
That's it. I don't know you from a can of paint, beloved. But the thing is I'm trying to express my point without interruption. It's a disciplined life, beloved.
It's a
You have to be
life.
able, listen,
You
if you
should put
carry
that on a
on,
shirt. It's a
if you
disciplined
carry
life.
on the way that you carry on out there in the street with men and you were a man, you'd have gotten punched several times with your energy. Yo, men don't respond kindly to that type of let me speak, brother. When I talk to men, we talk. Brother, this is what I don't
So
like.
how about you just let me know when I can speak?
There it is.
Go
There
ahead.
she is.
Let me know.
There she is. No, you.
Well, let me know when it's
you
my
have
turn.
the floor, Mr. Terry. Forget Miss Tiffany. It's Mr. Terry. Go ahead, sir. Jeez, my man.
You
That
don't
is
call me a
ridiculous.
sir.
Well, I mean, the characteristics, very argumentative, disagreeable, all manly traits.
Men are disagreeing. They disagree, right? So what does that
Man,
make you?
What
What does that make you?
That makes me
Because you
full
just
of
you just
wisdom.
categorize men as disagreeable.
We are disagreeable.
Okay, then,
with
so how
each
come
other.
you don't
That's
think
a
it's not
trait.
you?
That's a trait that we do with each other, ma'am. Look at the decibel level. Yours is at 10. Mine is at
No,
at
that's just my
consistently
energy because
2 or
I just
3.
don't want
No,
just don't
that's-
want this
that's-
episode to feel flat. So I'm like trying to bring some life to it. You know what I'm
That's what we're
saying?
doing. We bringing some life to it with arguing.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, can I finish making
Sure,
my
go ahead, sir.
There she is. Okay, ma'am. What I was saying was that, what was I saying?
Right.
That's it. That's you did this before, ma'am. You interrupt so often, ma'am, that you don't see no fault or flaw in it.
I'm gonna be quiet for 5 minutes and go.
And beloved, you need to grow up. Grow up quickly. Quickly. You see how you got them binoculars on, ma'am? You should be able to see yourself in those. You should be able to see yourself and others with those 3D virtual reality goggles you have on, ma'am. And all I wanted to do was get my point across. Beloved, listen. Women, if you're out there, it's not what you say, it's how you say and how you react. It's not that the person has an infraction. It's how you handle them and how fragile sometimes the heart can be and the ego for a man can be. If you bark at him, he's going to bark back. But if you take some lemons and you add a little sugar and water, you got lemonade instead of something bitter and sour. Add your ingredients to it. Learn how to finesse your way into his heart. Baby, I know I want this garbage taken out now, but I'm going to let you finish your game. Can you do that for me, loving, when you're done? He will jump at it. But when you, I mean, times I done told you, because guess what? The most critical people can't handle criticism. When it's time to be accountable, that's when most modern women act like children. But you didn't do it. But you didn't. What about you? Then it's deflecting the accountability, beloved. We got to do better on both ends of the spectrum. But when we are talking, that's what most modern women do. When we are talking about you guys, you couple in the men instead of just taking the lesson and learning from it. And then you make a point. You can make as many points as you want about me. And guess what? Most likely we go sit there and take it. You know why? Because throughout the beginning of time, we've been criticized. We don't do enough. We don't say enough. We this, we that. So we have become numb to a lot of it. Because what happens, even when I have a congregation and somebody's doing something wrong, not only are they in my office when they do something right, but wrong as well. So there's a balance. So when I call them in the office, they're not nervous. It's because I always, hey, good job on that, beloved. But can you do me a favor and kind of pick it up a little bit? They're able to receive it because they know where my heart is, beloved. And I just want to know, where's your heart posture when it's time to receive accountability and reproach and reprimanding? The floor is yours, beloved. The floor is yours. That's how conversations adults talk.
Okay. Well, that was a mouthful. And thank you for sharing. But if we can get back to privacy and privacy in marriage.
Well, the biggest thing is you find everything, you giggle about everything. And it's like, at what point do you go through puberty?
Why can't
At what point, beloved?
Why
At what
can't I
point?
giggle? I like to have fun.
Me
I like
too,
to
beloved.
enjoy myself.
Have you
and
ever
if
heard
I'm
have you ever heard the phrase, it's a time and place for everything?
And I feel like bring it to the table is a time and a place for it, because what we say at the table, on the table, how we want to say it, it's all respected. That's the form of this the podcast. And I feel like if there's a different type of forum that you want to be more involved in, I would understand that. But that's not what this is here.
Okay.
That's not what me and Lons created.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's and that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And all I'm saying is that privacy. We all have our times where people want to go to the man cave. She go to her she shed, and we hang out. But guess what? There should be no codes that you don't know. It should be nothing. Hey, you have free it's about the access. That's what I've been saying.
Right.
Access. Should have it. What if, God forbid, something happened to your mate and you don't have no codes, nothing? You just sitting there in the dark because all this privacy and all of this stuff when it should be open. One thing I've learned about you, as soon as a person start talking, your mouth get full of words. And it's like, man, beloved, a spirit of rebuttal. You have. I could imagine what that young man go through. Lons, keep your head up.
He happy. That's what he goes through.
Yeah.
Being taken care of.
Oh, okay. Well, beloved, I don't know the ins and outs of your relationship.
You acting like you
I don't want to know it. That's how I keep.
Said at the
That's how I keep.
Confided.
That's how I keep from hating certain congregates. I tell them, I don't want to know about it. Whatever it is, the intimacy, I don't want to know, because I want to keep my feelings neutral. So I always tell Lons, your significant other, sir, I don't want to know the intimate details of it. And he's not forthcoming with it anyway. He has a lot of wisdom. Yeah,
that's probably after that conversation we had. So,
I mean, that's good that you have a conversation and a relationship with him. God bless it. I'm just glad it's not me, is what I'm saying.
God,
I'm glad I am with who I'm with.
God is so good. And he
because
just
she
knows,
doesn't have that mindset
right,
of a
and
single
he knows
woman.
Who's for who.
You seem like the type that will buy some chips and write your name on it and put it in the cabinet where we all could see it. Where the whole family would see it and then get mad if it's eaten. Let me tell you, at my house, First Lady and I, it's a free for all. If you want it, you got it. Because guess what? If we need it, we can go get it.
But you also need to have some form of discipline, like a disciplined life.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In order to not demolish what's in the household and understand that there's more than one person that lives here.
Absolutely. The Bible tells you to give no thought of tomorrow. He said, give no thought of tomorrow.
Dog walk the snacks.
Well, listen, beloved, however way your household is, if you guys are limited, I get it.
It ain't got nothing to do
but
with
guess
limitation.
What? The well
it's consideration
runs,
that I'm speaking about.
This well doesn't run
speaking
dry.
Over me, Pastor. You speaking over me,
I apologize. It's a discipline.
I accept your apology.
Just take that stank out your throat, beloved.
What do you mean?
That I am that part of it.
I
Beloved,
just said I accept your apology.
so in other words, you don't agree with privacy, beloved.
No, it's not that I don't. I don't agree with there is no privacy in the marriage. I don't agree with
What's your level of
the
privacy?
heart posture of how you approach things. Goodness, you get some sleep, Pastor?
Well, I preach.
You been up all night?
7 sermons.
Responding to comments?
No, beloved. A lot of this stuff is just complete play rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change who I am. It doesn't motivate me to change. I can listen to some stuff and take it constructively, what most people can't. So I could sit in the fire.
Yeah.
And but I sit in there, but I don't get overcooked. I know when to step out. And so I allow the masses to have an opinion. But the problem comes is when I rebuttal or respond back, beloved. So
how do you think they feel? They feel shocked?
Yeah, a lot of them say, but you're a pastor. And I say, but you're a person, you're a woman, you're a human being, just like me. And so those are fine lines between respect and disrespect.
Right.
I let them tweeter along the lines of disrespect because it's your opinion. I'm not offended or affected by what individuals say. First Lady love it.
She loves
every inch of me.
Okay.
Uh-huh. She loves every fiber of my being. So when someone
I thought
is
you meant
attacking,
she loved them firing at you on them comments.
she knows I'm built for it.
Right.
She understands. And so with that being said, when you have a video out, there's not a level of privacy anymore. What you have done is, unbeknownst to myself, the video going viral, I had to learn that, hey, it's out there. So
Viral?
people are going to be able to attack it, and I'm not able to look at some stuff that they don't want nobody to see, pictures and all that. So I am on the opposite side of the spectrum, being shot at, So I do my best to manage the wounds, but people attacking, the aesthetics of you. Sometimes they bother you, but for the most part, I laugh at it.
What they say about you?
Beloved, listen. Let's stop playing this game. Stop playing this game with me.
I was just asking.
We did there was a live done in L.A. and you had a list of the comments. So stop playing these games with me.
That was in the beginning.
Let's stop playing these games.
It seemed like it has gotten even more vicious since then.
Well, it doesn't matter. When a person has no room, I always tell them, go have several seats.
But why do you entertain it though?
Because it's good fun.
Because it's a lot of. I see you all over the comments.
It's a lot of fun.
To me, I'm just saying,
because they wouldn't expect me to respond back.
Find all that time.
The Bible. Hold on.
To comments
hold on, beloved.
Of what folks saying on the internet.
Hold on, beloved. Let me tell you.
I'm just wondering, Pastor. I'm asking.
The Bible say, "Be angry, but sin not." There is nothing wrong with you being angry about somebody attacking you.
I didn't say it
and
was
you
anything
respond.
wrong.
There's nothing wrong with the respond, beloved. I'm use
just
profanity.
trying to find out where you find the time to.
Well,
because it's a lot of comments. It's like millions. Pastor, you say viral, right? You
absolutely.
Viral. So that means million upon millions of comments. I even remember in the live streaming in LA, you said that you actually counted the guy Brian's LOLs, how many LOLs he laughed at the comments.
Absolutely.
You said like over 10,000 LOLs.
It was
so I'm
10,365.
Where do you find the time?
Well, when people...
Were you even taking care of a congregation and you got
I'm
a
not
flock
there
that's
every
following
day.
you?
Beloved,
it's like, where do you find the time to even entertain this foolishness?
Beloved, I'm not there every day. And who said it's foolishness?
Oh, okay.
I'm
going
to just tell you.
Pastor.
What I'm telling you is that sometimes people need to understand that some comments, there's a consequence to it. And therefore, beloved, if you have no room Then how it goes with it when women talk about each other. Talk about a woman's size, and you big as all outside, and it's like how do you talk about somebody's hair and you struggling? You got struggle edges and ponytails and buns. But
here's the crazy thing: I'm getting hit in the crossfire just by being on the podcast with you.
Yeah,
they atting me and talking about me, and I'm looking like,
that's the society we live in.
Oh Lord,
guilty by association,
that's why I don't
beloved.
be commenting and dealing with it, because
Well,
child,
I do. I have time.
And it be elderly folks too. Like one lady said something about me. She looked like she could be my grandma.
Well, it was a lady on there talking about me. Look, every bit 1,000, and ma'am, I said you need to not waste this time commenting, writing. You should be resting, And so, beloved, I have learned to take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't bother me. And if I feel like it, I want to respond, beloved, I will read the comments and respond to you. I'm not pulling up. I could. But, I think that would be too gangster. So I want to look at them in their face and tell them how I feel.
Don't pull up, Pastor.
And I asked them before, I said, are you finished or are you done? And one thing about me is that I'm not finished, nor am I done. I got so much work to do.
All right,
and
Pastor.
I won't let a comment or a million comments derail me off the plan, off the vision, off my focus and destiny, beloved. I will end up where God told me I will be. And no comment and no demon on assignment will hinder that. I'm talking to you.
Well, listen, I'm going to just say it like this. I've heard you. Sometimes it may seem like I'm not listening, but Pastor, the things that you say, they do go into my ear. It go through here, and and it. Oh, Pastor.
I apologize, because a lot of times I don't know why that happens when you start talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seemed like on that note, you need to get some rest. So I'm going to just go on and cut it short.
All right.
So you can do that,
Thank
Pastor.
you.
But what I was trying to say, because, you gave me this 10-minute lecture about me listening to you and, saying and not interrupting your points and your thoughts. And you just did that to me. It's like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you lead by an example, Pastor, guess what? You have a follower.
Well, you got a problem with your hand in people's space and face. Like I said, if you were a man, you would have gotten beaten up several times within these conversations.
Okay, well, this is what I'll
podcast.
say. I've heard what you said, Pat. Pastor. And I'm going to make sure that I take heed. And I'm just going to be more, I'm going to try hard to not combat or argue with you. Even if you starting it, I'm just going to let you start it. And I'm going to let you finish it. Okay? Yeah. So that's what we'll do. So on that note, I want to thank you all for coming out and hearing the thoughts on privacy and if it should be privacy in the marriage. And I hope there were some things that you learned or some things that, you felt that were thought-provoking. But listen, comment, like, subscribe, share our podcast. Absolutely. And also tell us some topics that you want us to discuss, some things that you may want to ask Pastor Leviticus and get that good old wisdom out of Mr. Pastor. Okay?
All right.
So once again, thank you so much for coming out to bring it to the table, and we'll see you on the next one.
That's right. What happens at the table
stays at the table.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey.
All right.
Until next time, guys.
All right.